could fill my mind and move my body with the fiction, fantasy just grows. What it is we don't pretend it's real. So don't make promises to me that you're gonna break. We only one thing from this. Don't paint wonderful lies only to wash away.
We loved it so much that we came back many times.
Have you had time to visit, or was it always in and out?
It's pretty been
generally,
generally
in and out, just because we come over for festivals, and so we had a festival yesterday and we flew in today, so it was pretty quick. But Dan got a minute to go and look around the festival, which he kind of came back and told us all about, which sounds incredible.
And it's nice to be in a different part of the country. We played Summerwell like a few times. Obviously that's further down south. So I guess we feel very lucky to be here, and we're looking forward to hanging out tonight and tomorrow and seeing as much of the town as we can.
And also being on the world's craziest stage. We've just seen it.
Yes, it is. It's mad.
Well, I've just been asking about. I guess we'll see. It'll be a surprise. But everybody says that the crowds here are amazing, and obviously Armin Van Buuren played because he loved it so much.
Yes.
Because he said the crowd was so good.
Yes.
So
exactly.
we have that as our expectations are high. And we've been watching other people that everyone's just having a really good time, even though it's raining. So it should be good. Are you excited, Kyle?
Yeah.
We were just really excited to release the album. It's we got to release it just before summer, and we've been able to play the songs every weekend at different festivals, and it's been really fun. The album is about escapism, and it's about how weird everything feels at the moment when you're scrolling through your phone or hearing the news or watching the news. And it's about just a night out with friends and all the weird happenings of the evening. And it's about trying to forget about Trump and forget about Brexit and all the bull happening in the world, and sort of lose yourself in the nighttime. It was really fun to make, and people seem to, our fans seem to really like it, and it's been exciting. We just feel lucky that we get to release music, I think it's completely subjective. On our last album, we wrote our last album just before the Brexit vote happened, just before Trump was elected, and we tried to write about all these big, confusing changes that were happening in the world, and this big swing to the right. And I guess our point was how the to respond to it. Like, what do you do? And it's about being confused by it. And I guess 3 years later when we made Doom Days, but it's about escapism, but it's not about forgetting about it. It's the fact that, like, the amount that we all use our phones, the amount of exposure we have to the news, and the amount of things happening every day that feel so confusing, and so, if you're vaguely liberal, that can feel really upsetting and confusing. It's such a waterfall of this shit that I think it's about switching off for the night. It's not saying ignore it. On the album there's a song called Doom Days where we reference climate change deniers, fake news, porn addiction, phone addiction, all that kind of stuff. I totally think that stuff should be confronted and should be talked about, but I also think there's a time and a place for it, and that's maybe not a night out with your friends when you're trying to switch off to that, because there's been loads of stuff written about the amount of anxiety that people feel because of how intense the news cycle is. So it's important to engage with it, but it's also important to have moderation, I think.
I think I understand what you're saying, because a few years back, you watched the news, they ended, and that was it. Now the news is all the time, happening all the time on your phone. You do not disconnect from it.
Yeah, exactly. And, I don't know. I think one of the things we looked at in the album as well was, as an artist, as a band, as anyone with a vague voice that some people will listen to, I think there's a duty to hold a mirror up to society, but also stepping back from that. People just want to come to festivals to escape the shit in their lives. They want to, they don't want to think about their breakups or their the bills they've got to pay or politics or whatever. That's kind of not why you come to a festival. And music is there, something to make you feel something, and it's there as an escape as well. So I think we felt torn because we believe both those things. And I guess with the album we tried to sort of straddle the line. We used the language of stuff that's happening at the moment, but we wanted to talk about real things that are relatable, because that stuff that you read in the news, it's important, but it can feel so distant as well, and it can feel like nothing you do can have an effect on it. So anyway,
Our song appears on FIFA.
these days people just hear music in different places, and there's so much music out there. It's hard to get your music heard. I think for like any upcoming young band, for your song to be in a TV show or in a video game or whatever, like that's a massive audience you can reach. That's fucking awesome. Like I think it's brilliant. So when one of our songs was in FIFA, we weren't asked about it. It just was in there, and then suddenly all these different people were like hearing our tune, and that was fucking awesome. It was so exciting. We were like, at the time, we were driving ourselves around the UK, piling all our stuff in the back of a car. The fact that one of our songs was in a video game was like amazing.
I think what's hard is that
I'm genuinely trying to think of one.
to even find a story that's not been told is the most difficult thing to do, because
Or legally troubling.
we all get locked up immediately after.